Having that said, I do like to use these boots right here for running Steps of Torment. They give you a huge tanky buff, and then they also give you the cold resistance, and then they give you the 20% reduced freeze duration. These are really good for running Steps of Torment, like I said. It's a great area, because in that area they're going to be freezing you a lot and doing a lot of cold damage. So on top of that, I will switch to my Beast Collar Shroud sometimes, depending on what I'm doing. If you see when I have this equipped, all my elemental resistances are maxed. And you do lose a little bit of percent pet damage. However, you're gaining 2 to summon Hellhound and Briarthorn, so it kind of makes up for that damage loss in some aspects. And then your pets get tankiness from that as well. But in most cases, if I'm running and I'm just clearing trash mobs and doing normal runs, I try to max out as much damage as I can as possible without sacrificing too much tankiness or resistance. So this is what I wanted to show you on this second tab here. You can see my pet damage is 917. That's just sitting still with this current guild that I have equipped. So let's see what it is whenever I activate my amulet and the potion. Now you can see it's 1,217%, so it's quite a difference. And that's not counting some of the other procs that I can get through the devotion tree. So let's talk about devotion real quick, show you guys what I did there. So as you can see, I put 1 point into the green affinity and 1 point into the yellow affinity, get 5% health from that, and I get 15 offensive ability from that. So whenever you put points into the devotion tree, you're going to get affinity, like I said. And if you look, the spider, for example, it says affinity requirements are at least 1 green. So putting 1 point here allows me to jump here and start putting extra points into this. Now when you complete a constellation, you can see that you get 6 green affinity whenever you complete this constellation. So after completing this, I'll get 6 plus this one, that would make 7 total, is how that works. The reason why this is important is because if you look at like Mogdrogan the Wolf, you see that it requires 15 purple affinity and 12 green affinity. So you have to have enough affinity to get to these higher tiers that you want to grab the abilities from. So what does the spider do? Spider gives you offensive ability, 8% chaos resistance, which is decent. You do need chaos. It's kind of hard to come by in some situations. You get 10 cunning, 10 spirit, not necessarily needed. 12% less damage from insectoids, 12% less damage from arachnids, and you get offensive and defensive ability. This stat is actually pretty good. So you know that I'm getting the 19% damage reduction. I'm getting the 24% damage reduction from beasts, and I'm also getting the 12% from insectoids and arachnids. So you can see overall I'm getting quite a bit of percentage damage reduction on top of all the tankiness that I have, which is really nice. And then if you come up here, you get Cunning and Spirit, 3% boost. Not a huge deal. And then this one here, which is not really a big deal either. It's just that this constellation did not require too many points for what you get in return, which is 6 completion bonus. And then over here I grabbed the Shepherd's Crook. And as you can see, it gives you pet bonuses. And then if you look down here, you get the Shepherd's Call, which I have equipped. If you left click on that, I have equipped to my Dreeg's Evil Eye. So whenever you click on a skill from the devotion tree, you can activate and or bind a skill to it, and it shows you what skills are able to bind to that. Anything that's in red are skills or abilities that I don't have any points into that I can't use. So right now my only 2 options are Dreeg's and Sigil Consumption. And as you can see, it says Sigil's in use, meaning that it's already equipped to something else. So I grabbed the Crane, and this is just for a little more tankiness and a little more resistances. They nerfed it recently a little bit, but it's still definitely worth grabbing in my opinion. I grabbed the Raven, and this is just for pet bonuses and additional green affinity. 4 points for 5 green affinity, kind of worth it. I grabbed Bismil's Bonds, so you can see more pet bonus. And then I have Bismil's Command, which lets me throw an ability and spawn a extra pet every once in a while, which is nice. Then down here I grabbed the Empty Throne. I think Empty Throne is pretty good. It used to be a little stronger, got nerfed down again a little bit, like I said about the other skill. But you get Chaos Resist, you get Pierce Resist, you get Aether Resist, and then you get 15% reduced stun duration. Those are all really good stats. A lot of those resistances you get from this are hard to come by. And then the reduced stun duration is super good. If anything stuns you in the game, gives you quicker recovery from stuns. Really nice. So grab the Wolverine. So this is going to give your pets bonuses and then give you defensive bonuses as well. Lots of defensive abilities. So you want your defensive ability to be pretty high. Like I said, you have less chance of being hit and or crit based on how high your defensive ability is, and it gives your pets defensive ability as well. So that's really good. And down here, grab Mogdrogan the Wolf. You can see all the bonuses you get from that. You get Vitality Resistance, which is nice. Elementals, all kinds of good stuff, and then you get that huge pet buff. Okay, and then if you come back up here, I did grab the Tortoise. The reason why I grabbed this is because it's extra health and defensive ability, as you can see. And then you get this effect here. That's actually pretty good, 4% health. Armor percent and defensibility is nice. And then if you come up here, you get the turtle shell. So 100% chance and 40% health to proc a shield that absorbs damage. This isn't max yet. It's only 13 or 20, but you know, the more I play, the more it's going to level. This scales and goes really well with your Flesh Fiend mantle, the shoulders I have, which is super good. And then over here, I grabbed the vulture, and I more or less grabbed it for the bleed and vitality resist. So that's that for the devotion tree. They are constantly changing stuff currently, you know, with every new update, so I might change this, we'll see, but that's what I'm using right now currently. Alright, so let's get into some gameplay and go to Smuggler's Passage. Let me find that real quick. So in Smuggler's Passage, it's a pretty decent little run. There's a boss at the end, it's not super long, and you can kind of demonstrate what kind of damage you can do. So this build is really good at doing kind of a mix. I wouldn't say super good AoE, but it's superior in single target damage. So I'm going to show you guys. Pretty much what you want to do is you want to keep your Curse of Frailty up at all times, and you just want to try to spam all your other skills. Throw out your other pet, proc your amulet, and you just start ripping through stuff. Like I said, it's going to be a really involved build. You're not going to be just sitting and doing nothing. So that's why I actually like running this pet build. You can see how that Curse of Frailty just hits everything in a large area like that. Pulls a lot of hate and aggro, but there we go. There was a 40,000 crit from the Hellhound, and that was with some of my buffs active, not all of them. Go and zoom that map out a bit. There you go. Got a unique monster here. So things will hurt if they do hit you, so you gotta be careful. There are certain things in the game that will kind of crunch on you if you're not paying attention. You can see there the pets rip through that guy pretty quick. Once they get a hold of a single target, they'll just annihilate them. So this build is pretty fun for that reason. Also, I'd like to note that if you see in my second slot here, I have Pet Command. And what that does is it allows you to tell your pets where to go and who to attack. So you can actually push that 2 key, which is what I have it bound to, on a target. Or just tell them to go to a location where my mouse is and they'll run to that location. So that's a good skill to put on your skill bar in my opinion, because if there's a monster in the back or something that's really giving you a problem, you can control your pets and tell them where to go, which is a super nice feature, by the way. Some games currently, Diablo 3, cough cough, do not have anything like that, so it's kind of annoying. Whenever I get to the boss, I'll see if I can land like a 60k crit or more with my Hellhound. I will do my best. These pets are pretty brutal. They kind of annihilate things. Alright, so there's the boss coming up here. As you can see, there's the big boss. Alright, so I'm going to try to proc everything. Let me kill these little guys first. Okay. It's one proc. Let's see what we can do. 27,000. There's the autos doing like 27,000 damage and stuff. Anyway, there you go. Unfortunately, the Hellhound did not crit on whenever I activated it, but you saw that. I mean, the autos get close to 30k with some of those monsters and or pets, and it's just crazy. So, anyways, guys, as always, thank you for taking time to watch my videos. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'm going to try to do new build updates. I'm going to try to do videos weekly if I can. Been kind of busy, but I'll do what I can. As always, thank you for taking time to watch my videos. If you like, please comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Thanks for watching, guys.